Tonight on ABC.
Live from our studio in downtown Eureka, you're watching North Coast News on KAEF ABC 23. At 11, get the facts right.
Tonight, CAL FIRE, law enforcement, and Lake County deputies have arrested a Clear Lake man suspected of starting numerous fires in Lake County, including the Clayton fire, which has destroyed more than 175 structures. It's burned more than 4,000 acres and is only 5% contained tonight. Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for North Coast News, KAEF ABC 23 News at 11. I'm Symphony Sherman. Karen Bright has the night off. Deputies say 40-year-old Damon Anthony Peschelk was arrested today on suspicion of 17 counts of arson. The arson charges Peschelk faces in regards to the Clayton fire will carry enhancements due to the destruction of homes and businesses. CAL FIRE Chief Ken Pimlott sympathized with Lake County residents, saying, quote, Mr. Peschelk committed a horrific crime, and we will seek prosecution to the fullest extent of the law. My thoughts continue to be with the people of Lake County during this difficult time. Anyone with information about Damon Peschelk or the case in general is asked to call the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Meantime, HSU students are flooding back to Humboldt County. This week marks the beginning of move-in day for all Humboldt State students. University staff estimates 300 students made their way into the dorms today. They expect another 800 tomorrow. North Coast News, KAEF ABC 23's Taylor Torregano went to the campus to see what it's all about.
I belong at HSU. This is where I feel that I'm at home.
Nicholas Conlon says by the end of this week, he wants every incoming freshman to feel like this.
Humboldt is a close-knit community, so a lot of the community members come to the sporting events. So it's really important that we can bridge that gap and use the students to do that.
HSU has close to 9,000 students enrolled this fall. 1,300 of those are freshmen, and they're getting a warm welcome from the school and the community.
We love them. We want them to be here, and we want to share the experience with them like their parents shared with my kids that moved to their town.
That's a good thing. That's why I wanted to go to Humboldt State, because it was one of the smaller campuses, and I felt like that would be a better fit for me.
HSU is also seeing some positive demographic changes. 59% of this year's freshmen are first-generation college students, and this year's class is more diverse than ever before. This year, 4% of HSU students are Black, 3% are Asian American, and 26% are Hispanic. The majority of students come from LA, with 29%. And Bay Area comes in second, contributing 13% of overall students.
We teach them about cultural sensitivity. You know, there's a lot of things happening in the world today that our students are really affected by. So we really feel that we need to continue educating them about how to have appropriate conversations with other students.
Reporting in Arcata, Taylor Torregano, North Coast News, KAEF, ABC 23.
And with the 2016 to 2017 school year fast approaching, local businesses are gearing up for an economic boost. During the school year, HSU students use many of the restaurants and shops. So when students are out for the summer, local businesses say they definitely feel the difference. Right near campus, the Arcata Plaza is home to numerous cafes, boutiques, and nightlife options. While locals frequent these places too, business owners say they see the benefits when students return.
I mean, we have a lot of good local business, you know, a lot of people who live here constantly, but definitely during when school is in, it's a huge influx on our weekends.
HSU students are officially back in school next Monday, August 22nd. Soon, women may be able to get their birth control in bulk. Senate Bill 999 has moved through the Senate and now goes to the California Assembly. The bill would allow women on birth control to get a year's supply at once. It would also make it so insurance would pay for the birth control. The goal is to reduce the amount of unexpected pregnancies throughout California. Lawmakers say by allowing a woman to have 12 months worth of birth control, they're less likely to miss a dose. The bill doesn't only cover oral birth control. It covers any type that is an FDA-approved form of birth control, from the pill to the ring to the patch. Staff at Planned Parenthood says that this will not only make it easier for those taking birth control, but it will make the state save money. This is because there will be less people who could become pregnant without trying to. That means less abortions.
And it's super important in an area like Humboldt County, where a lot of people don't live right around the corner from their pharmacy. And, you know, it's not necessarily on the top of your to-do list every 3 months or, you know, to have to go and refill your birth control prescription.
Senate Bill 999 now just needs to be approved by the State Assembly. The Assembly has until the end of the month to vote on the bill. The City of Fortuna has extended the deadline for all non-incumbent applications. The deadline is now Wednesday, August 17th. The move comes after one incumbent City Council member decided not to run for re-election. City staff is looking for hard-working candidates that want to see Fortuna be a successful and prosperous city.
The City Council is very important for the City of Fortuna. It's important to have strong leadership on that council in order to make good policy decisions for the city.
To qualify as a candidate, you need to live in Fortuna. You must also collect at least 20 signatures of people who live in Fortuna. Applications must be turned in by 5 on Wednesday. And the deadline to apply for Eureka City Council's Ward 4 is Wednesday, August 17th by 5. Ward 4 is the southern portion of Eureka. In order to qualify, you must live in the area, file a series of papers with the city, and collect 20 signatures from people who live in the Ward 4. It's time for Cooper Gulch Park in Eureka to get a makeover, and you could have input in the plans. A community-led group, the Cooper Gulch Common Grounds Committee, is gathering feedback. They want to create a master plan for the park. The group wants to improve safety, trails, signage, and build more picnic areas. Right now, the park has a skate park, ballpark, and disc golf course. The goal is to make the 33 acres more useful to a wider audience.
The more feedback we get, the better understanding we have as far as what the people would like to see in that park.
The group is collecting feedback through a survey online. The hope is to have the first draft of the master plan ready to present to Eureka City Council by the end of the year. If you haven't gotten your kids vaccinated yet and your child goes to public school or private schools, you have 1 week left to do so. This is the first year Senate Bill 277 is in full effect. The bill requires parents to get their kids vaccinated if they are attending public school or private schools, regardless of their beliefs. In previous years, parents could write a note exempting their child, but as of July 1st, rules have changed. In order to be exempt, a parent needs to bring in a doctor's note, and if they don't, their child will not be attending class.
We have become the regulators on whether or not students can attend school based on whether or not they have their immunizations. And it doesn't matter what we believe, whether we believe it's a good law or a bad law, it's just a fact and a rule that we have to follow. So we can't make up the rules, we can't bend the rules, we can't do any of that. Sacramento has clearly told us that we have to enforce this, and that's what we're going to have to do on the start of school.
If you want more information on the current vaccination laws, as well as what shots your child needs to attend school next week, we'll have that information linked to you on our news app. The drug Narcan is proving to save lives on the North Coast. Over the weekend, the Arcata Police Department used the nasal spray for the first time since officers were given the drug this year, and it saved a man's life. Officers say when they got to the house on South G Street to the report of a drug overdose, they found an unresponsive 29-year-old male. That's when Officer Eric Losey gave the man a dosage of Narcan. It saved his life. Arcata police say it was the first time Narcan was used by an officer this year. It's a medication that counteracts the effects of an opiate overdose. Officers say it was a learning experience, and they are glad to hear the man is alive.
Well, it felt really good. I train our department in CPR and first aid, and it's something that we all train for and look forward to being there, being present to help somebody out in that way.
Arcata police say going forward, the department will use the knowledge learned from the incident to further train their officers. The hope is that the drug, coupled with additional training, will help combat the heroin problem Arcata is facing. Tonight, the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office is looking for 4 men who robbed a McKinleyville man at gunpoint Friday. It happened shortly before 7 in the morning on Bollier Avenue. Deputies say the white male suspects broke into a home. The man victim woke up after hearing a loud noise. He went to investigate, and that's when he was ordered to the floor at gunpoint. The suspects wanted drugs, but the victim said he didn't have any. They took his credit cards and cell phone and took off. If you have information, call the sheriff's office. In Milwaukee, a mandatory curfew for young people is in effect. This comes after fires were set and bricks were thrown at officers in their cars. Several businesses were destroyed as police clashed with some of the protesters. All this began with the police shooting of a man who authorities say was armed, and they are bracing for what could be another tense night ahead. Eva Pilgrim has more.
Tonight, a crackdown to stop the raging protest against police. The neighborhood that was set on fire now closed from dusk till dawn.
We've got to maintain the peace.
The flashpoint when police pulled over Seville Smith in a traffic stop on Saturday.
Before they even spoke to anyone, 2 individuals were fleeing from the car, one with a gun in his hand.
The officer, also black, shooting and killing Smith. That police officer wearing a body camera, but the video hasn't been released. The shooting setting off 2 nights of smoke-filled mayhem, businesses torched, 31 arrested, 2 teens hit by bullets in the chaos. Some in the crowd shooting at police.
Shots fired, shots fired.
11 officers wounded as protesters threw bricks.
This is the police. Leave the area.
For Smith's family tonight, unanswered questions and a lot of pain.
I'll be 25 next month. My brother won't even be there for my birthday party.
That was Eva Pilgrim reporting. Law enforcement says that even with a neighborhood shutdown in place, the police chief is taking no chances and warning teens that the 10 p.m. curfew will be enforced throughout the night. And a top member of the Donald Trump campaign is under investigation tonight by Ukrainian authorities. Coming up on North Coast News, KEF ABC 23 will explain the charges. And it's a study shining some light on what a lot of people do regularly, whether it's at your job, watching TV, or at a restaurant. We'll explain further straight ahead. Plus 100+ degree temperatures inland this week and a possibility of thunderstorms in some areas. Chief Meteorologist Mike Kruger will fill us in after the break. And now you can get the coverage of the North Coast in the palm of your hand with the North Coast News TV app. Get daily alerts on what's happening in your community, plus daily and extended forecasts, live radar, severe weather alerts, and more. Search North Coast News TV on Google Play or the Apple App Store and download the app for free. We'll be right back.